I'll be GM for your next season. Sounds good. Ah, there he is. Okay, I'm gonna add him. Hello.
Oh, thank God. Okay. No, potato status over here. I've had too much to drink. Okay.
Right on, dude. Nice to meet you. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing excellent. How are you doing?
Doing great. Oh, wait, we got another Volskaya game?
Yeah, so, okay. Do you want the story?
Yeah, of course. I love the lore.
Okay, so the lore is a week before BlizzCon, I have a meltdown, and I say to my wife, I'm like, I've got to go. And she's like, okay. So I drive at 2 a.m. on Friday out to BlizzCon, meet some cool kids in the HGC, and we say, you know, we should probably team league together. So we start playing, and we start playing on Tuesdays. That's our team league night. We jump in Volskaya, and everyone's like, okay, we've never played this map before. So we're trying to find our groove. I find you doing this community coaching thing, and I'm like, okay, I got to get in on this. I send you a message, and you're like, it's easy. Just submit here. And so I submit the replay, and here I am. It's 10:45 on Sunday, and I wouldn't rather be doing anything else.
What, dude? I'm so happy right now. I got a giant smile on my face. Welcome. Welcome.
By the way, so and I ran into you at the Heroes Hype party. You just walked up. I had no idea who you are. I'm a filthy casual, and you just casually say that you're the Temple Storm coach. I'm like, oh, well, let me just stick my foot in my mouth. So anyway, so I've got the crew's watching. We've all got tons of questions we want to improve. We win this game, but we were favored to win, but it was way too hard.
Yeah.
So we want to know what the hell we can do better. We're slowly getting better together, and so just looking for your perspective on things.
Chances are, I can say already, it's probably going to boil down to really long fights, and then their Vikings getting more value than they should. That's the way it looks like, because you've got an Illidan who does pretty well in long fights, and you've got a Lili who is a sustained healer. And then, again, Varian, he does well in long fights too. You know, he's constantly using his protected. And then, yeah, the longer a fight draws out, the better off that their comp is going to be, because they have the Vikings triple, double soaking, what have you. Depends on where the fight ends up. So,
got it.
But that's just my original speculation. I'm not sure if that's actually going to be true. But just looking at the comps, that could happen.
Yeah, and the problem with the comp is it turned into a joke because the team name originally was Shake and Bake, and that was the name of a play, which was ETC and Kael'thas, which is a mosh pit into a double flame strike, and so we picked this based on a play rather than actually drafting intelligently. So could you speak to how we would want to draft into something like this?
It depends on when they picked Vikings. Do you remember when?
4th pick, I think. And so I think we had one chance to react to it.
I would have, if you had space for a flex, like if your Sonya wasn't locked in, or even your Kael'thas wasn't locked in, I would have picked a Dahaka.
Okay, so I picked Kael'thas last, pretty much. So
then, yeah, I think Dahaka would have been better then, because then at least you have a tool to deal with them.
Okay.
Okay, so there was a missed Q from Cassia, and I actually am pretty sure that's what results in... Actually, no, right there, too. You as well. So you guys would have gotten this kill already right out of the gates. You guys have to work on your, I guess, team cohesion, making sure all of your damage ends up on the same source, especially with an ETC. So Lili gains value with spread damage. It's very hard for Lili to heal a single target up. But it's when, like, you know, random damage is hitting the Illidan, okay, there's a Q. Oh, random damage is hitting the Varian, there's a Q. You know, it's really easy for her to keep people up. But right here, so the ETC slide goes out. You as a Kael'thas should be waiting with your D plus E combo.
Okay.
That's how the combo works. So ETC slides, you hit D, then E for the extended duration on your stun, and then you hit your QW and auto attacks on top of it. So we're waiting for it. There's the slide. Immediately DE right now.
Okay.
And then the Q goes on top, plus the W, and Varian's dead. He wouldn't have escaped. So there's your first kill.
So another thing, too, is just the mechanics of the map, I think, is another thing that we struggled with this being new. So,
yep.
I mean, it's guaranteed. I absolutely agree that we have a we're trying to figure out how to call our kill targets and then collapse on them. We're all kind of shouting at each other at the same time in chat. But outside of that, it's just you could see a lot of indecision here in terms of where do we go next from here.
Yep. I like the fact that Rehgar went bottom. Rehgar's not going to contribute a crazy amount in these fights. Getting some lane dominance in, I guess, either of any of these lanes is actually really strong against Vikings. So doing that is smart. But the comp has to work with, it's either that or you send Cassia bottom, okay? One of two. But I actually think Cassia might have been the best call. And then you, Rehgar, and ETC roam around looking for picks. That's how you basically have to play this. ETC steps up, boom, it allows you to step up. You do some damage to the wave there, and then you're getting globes because that's what you want to be stacking up. Actually, you went convection. I guess
Again,
convection's.
Remember the joke that I got a little carried away. So it was difficult because we played together a couple of times after we said, okay, we're gonna try and get a replay in. And then we played every game thing. Oh God, Kyle's gonna look at this, and we're gonna get judged based on how we play. And we did really, really well because of this sort of anxiety kind of looming over us. So this was probably the best one where we were just kind of like collectively like, what do we need to do differently? We need someone to tell us.
Perfect. I first picked Sonya, not sure if that was a thing to do or not. Usually not, but it's not the worst thing in the world. On this map, why not first pick the Rehgar ETC instead? With solo lane matchups, this is basically how you got yourselves into this situation. So Sonya is your solo laner. Their solo laner is Vikings. So they just picked Vikings into it because you can no longer flex your solo. So picking your warrior or your support or even like a single damage dealer in the first phase of draft is usually better than locking in your solo laner right off the bat. Just because then you have the option to flex. If you're already saying like, hey, I'm going to build like the strongest solo lane hero aside from like Malthael, they'll be like, okay, fine, we'll just play Dahaka and play macro, or we'll go Vikings and play macro. So they have the option to do that. So that's in response to that question. And then I just wanted to just quickly go over this real quick. Real quick. Gosh, I'm saying the same thing. But you get engaged on right here. So then ETC just has to immediately hit W to peel for you. And then you guys have to disengage. You have one showing top, one showing bottom, and they have effectively 4 here. So, but ETC then looks for a slide when you're not even in the fight, and he's basically willingly sliding into, 4 people, 3 people, which is scary. And that's why he dies. So just being more conscious of what's happening with your teammates, I think, there.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's not a whole lot that can be done camp-wise until, like, Rehgar can grab the fort camp bottom before the first protector. But aside from that, there's not a whole lot that can happen. You guys should just be looking to get some lane dominance. Getting picks on these Vikings is a very good thing. So he should be able to get the kill, right? Oh, wait. Oh, no, Rehgar. Okay, Rehgar misses the kill, which means they would have missed the soak. So getting kills on Vikings is a very good thing.
And it feels so unrewarding sometimes.
Right? You don't get a lot of XP for it, but the point is that you deny XP from your opponents. That's the best part.
Okay. Because it almost feels like, do I want to commit the time to it? And then it's this... Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
The strategy is, let's say you guys sell out and you put 3 bottom and you rotate onto the Viking and kill him. Then you push in the wave. Then ETC walks a spooky route so that they can't rotate down and then collect all the soak. Now all of a sudden they just missed an entire wave.
Okay.
And that is crazy value. So you guys deciding to group everybody here. This is fine, but you have to get kills right off the bat. So there's your first one. Oh, you're doing so much damage. And now you can step up. Walk you personally, mount up and walk mid, and use a W on the wave, and then pick up the globe.
Okay.
You have to be focusing on these globes, because it just gives you mana. Gives the rest of your team health and mana. And then establishing lane dominance mid means you have a way easier time getting this this cap.
So, and why is that? Why is clearing the minion wave mid give you that flexibility?
Because now they have to fight through the minion wave in order to get to you, and
Okay.
they also, by them choosing to fight you, means that they're also just giving up ammunition and damage to their structures mid. So they're, no matter what, if they're fighting you even and nobody's winning, they're still losing because they're losing in the mid wave. So the
Okay.
first person to clear that means that it's, does that make sense? Because like, yeah, if you guys clear that first, then the minion wave is crashing into them. You getting more vision, you're doing damage to their structures, you're draining ammunition, and then of course you get the globe as well, which is probably like 50% of the importance.
So everything you mentioned just there are things that, you know, I personally don't understand the value of, therefore I don't prioritize it. So letting the minion wave kind of fester and not go after it when you could is really a gap. And so, like, so we watched your the Battlefield of Eternity replay you did with it was a Kerosene Gold replay.
Yep.
We played that map, followed the coaching verbatim, and like destroyed the other team in 12 minutes. And then we get on this map and we're like, okay, what do we do? And so it's those sorts of things that I'm taking away from this already.
Okay, perfect. And yeah, and immediately off of that, I already see people wasting time sitting on the cap. One person on the cap, everybody else mid wave. There you go. Even though it's 3 seconds, it's still wasted time. And then right off that, there's no chance that they get back in time to go and contest mid. So you guys have to send somebody bottom and top immediately in order to, like, you guys basically just won the game there because they sold out on their Vikings and you guys won the first objective hard. And the thing is, like, you guys can win first objective and they can still come out on top, but you guys won it hard. Like, you got picks on picks on picks, which means you gained the experience that they gained with their hero, and you won the objective. So, boom. Bottom and top, perfect. And now mid is just looking to open up the map. See if you can get some towers. You don't even have to take a crazy amount from them. Oh, it's unfortunate that mid can't get a little more. Whoops. Oof. Protector does so much damage.
Yeah, and I think this is the first time a few of us were actually playing on this map.
Stay.
I mean, we may have encountered it in quick match, but that was about it.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys stay here. You get the pick. Perfect. Yeah, staying here is exactly what you need to do. In fact, the fact that Illidan is just disrespecting and staying bottom like this, like, you can stay for longer. Or rotate onto him like what you're doing. Okay, wait. So ETC has to stay with you. This was actually the right call. So for you guys, I want you to think a little bit more about your rotations. So right here, nobody needs to go top. Top's already winning, okay? So Sonya walking top right now is a waste of time. If anything, Sonya should be going for the siege camp or the support camp, something. But just going top, unless she's just alleviating Cassia of her duty, which Cassia is backing, so that's basically what she's doing. But still, the wave isn't pushed in, so Sonya can go take something else. But the biggest problem I see is the fact that, so mid-wave, if they stay and push it in, it's going to crash into mid-towers. Cassia's backing, she can walk immediately mid and probably pick up that wave without missing anything. The problem here is the fact that the main portion of this comp is ETC and Kael'thas, and you guys aren't grouped. You coming bottom here, perfect. Illidan dies, but ETC has to be there.
Okay.
Because here's Ghost drops the totem, okay? Illidan gets slowed, like, let's say hypothetically, like, there's the totem. Like, even you needed to push into this harder.
Go ham.
Oh, yeah.
I've got 3 beers in me. I can take anything.
You're hilarious, dude. But yeah, so you land. Okay, yeah. The biggest problem, like I said, was the fact that you guys didn't both come down to this. If ETC was leading this, he slides, you get your DE combo, QW, dead. Instant. But, so you land your Q, you can never walk towards him because all you're doing is letting him escape. You have to walk to the left towards the minion wave. So you're already wasting resources by walking towards him. You have to be walking to the left because that's his escape path, right? You want to close that gap. You want to be there to do damage to him as he tries to escape. And then you stood still there. You could be auto-attacking, then moving left in between your autos. used your D and Q, it increases the range, and that's pretty much it. Most of the time, when you're looking at getting picks, you have to save your D for your stun. Because it goes through the minions as well.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff that I would never have thought of on my own.
No worries. And then, yeah, you basically just give up because he closed so much space by you not walking left off of that. So, yeah, if you can see my mouse, I'm just going to do it. Just look at the stream replay. There's not a lot of delay. So, yeah, you literally walk down like this. You use your single spell here, and then you kite this way.
Okay.
And then you wait for him, and then you can hit him with a DE as soon as he's done using one of his mobility abilities.
Okay. Now I've got it up on the display next to me, so.
Yeah, just watch my mouse there.
Yeah, got it. Message received.
I'm working on screen annotations right now. I just couldn't get them to show up in time, but that's okay.
All good. All good.
Yeah, and make sure you're pushed up here so that you're actually within. Yeah, so like DQ is such a huge mana sink. It's almost never worth it until you're level like 16.
Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of that.
Yep. It's actually, no offense, it's a bit of like a noob trap, is what I like.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And I'll admit to that.
I'll be the first person to admit I used it a lot too until I actually started looking at the ability when I was learning Kael'thas. When he first came out, I was like, wait a second, this is actually just wasting a lot of resources when I could be using it elsewhere. You guys miss an entire wave bottom here, which is bad. Actually, wait, you miss one minion. I'm wrong. Because the structures were down. Yeah, and you could have killed him as well.
Again, with the left strafe, or at least positioning a little bit more aggressively.
Yep. So you literally just walk up and hit D, which you already did, but now E him. E him from fog. He can't do anything. So you E him, he's stunned, and then you QW on top of him. You already hit him, but now you're walking left at the same time, okay?
Okay.
Left, left, left. That's the only way that he can go. There's another auto, there's another auto, there's another dead.
So this is explaining why it was so difficult. Even though it's a win, it's there's a lot of white space, I guess you can call it, where we could have easily been taking advantages.
Yep, definitely. Okay, so next is top, and you guys have your heroics. So this is another one of those situations where you see their Viking bottom, like you want to push up like as soon as possible. Ooh, they're longboat. Okay, I like it. And then look for a fight. ETC's not quite here, so you know maybe playing a little bit further back, like what you're doing, is good. Oh,
that didn't happen.
Don't have to mention that one, because you
just
already
pixelate that one.
Yeah, you already know the issue there.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys already just won the fight. They've completely disengaged. Okay, but you're so disconnected from your ETC. Next time you're playing with an ETC as Kael'thas, I want you to picture ETC as being your hero.
Okay.
ETC is hit confirm for your E. So ETC lands a slide, that's the freest DE of your life, and most times that's a dead hero.
So normally my role is more of off tank, or I'll just flex into whatever the team needs. Kael'thas was just kind of a one-off in this situation, but I mean, everything that you're saying is absolutely something that I need to do differently. The difficulty is that I just don't know how the hero works, and so as a team, I feel like we don't know how our heroes actually synergize together.
Okay, so that's how it is. That's how this comp works. In fact, so throughout this week, feel free to send me messages on Twitter or Discord, whatever. If you guys have comps, like even though we only do community coaching on Sundays, if you guys have a comp and you're like, Kyle, I don't know what the hell to do. Like, what do I do in team fights? What do I do in the lane with this sort of comp? We're against XYZ. Like, how do we play this? I can just type it out and tell you.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like just anything small we'll take, and it's a huge gain in terms of how well we do in Team League. I mean, that's really where we have the most fun. That's where we create all our memories. And
Yeah.
so, and I feel like when we're talking on comms, we all have little pieces of wisdom about it, but we don't. Not one of us has the complete picture.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I like that. Wait, I really like that. And one of these days, you guys are gonna make the whole puzzle, okay?
All right, I'll buy you a drink when that happens.
Yes. 3 beers. Okay, so yeah, you guys are just chilling up here. You have control. It's basically ooh. Okay, so this is just one of those synergy things. So if you guys are saying in comms right now, you can be forcing a fight. Like you have level 13. They're not quite there yet. The only way they get 13, because there's no Vikings showing on the wave, is by pushing this top lane. And you guys, you know, it might not occur to you guys, but that's actually what's happening here. So Sonya, if she's saying, or he's saying in comms, I have leap, watch my leap, then ETC has to be like, okay, leap's up. I have, what's it called up? Mosh Pit and my Q, and Li Ming doesn't have an interrupt because she went disintegrate. Huge play right here. Okay, so leap goes out. Ooh, that's a juicy play right there, boys. Okay, so you need to, like I said, ETC and this leap is an extension of your hero. You have to be using their stuns as hit confirm for your abilities.
Okay.
So
so basically, it was the target then their Li Ming. Who was the target there?
No, watch. So Sonya should be saying in comms, I have leap or I'm looking for leap, whatever he was saying. If not, that's not a big deal. But you guys should all be watching each other so intently that you're waiting for one stun to follow up on it. Okay, so I play in a band, and when we're learning new songs, I kind of like coach my band through learning things as well. And I say, instead of us focusing on the parts that we're playing individually, let's instead, my guitar player, I want you to focus on my bass player. My drummer, I want you to focus on the lead guitar player. I'm going to focus on the rhythm guitar player. I want everyone else to focus on everyone else so that we act more as a unit. So if that condition were true right here, watch this. Leap goes out into 2 targets. ETC is already there for the slide mosh.
Okay.
And then you're there with ETC. Right now you're off on your own. And if you were there with this, here's a slide mosh. The mosh is already going off, okay? Your Phoenix is hitting them. You have your DQ combo that you love doing, and that hits 2 people. They're instantly dead.
Okay, and that's the difference between gold and platinum.
Yep. You guys only got 1 kill there when you could have gotten 2. Okay. And that is substantial. And now it's basically time for you guys to really step up. Even though you don't have Mosh Pit, even though you don't have Ancestral, it is time that you guys step up like really hard here. And I like that you're already doing it. You guys have to get a fort. You have to get like a keep wall. You have to do something to just really take this game and run with it, you know?
Okay.
So I like the fact that you guys recognize that and you're pushed up super hard here. This is good. See, that was beautiful, like absolutely beautiful. Off of it, do you get the wall? I think you actually do quite easily. And it's worth sacrificing the bit of XP you're losing mid and bottom. It really is. Like, yeah, maybe they get a fort, but you guys are trying to close out this game. You're trying to open up win conditions for your team, not just get level 16. That doesn't matter. You want win conditions.
So here's the other thing too, because we all love watching HGC. We love the macro game, but when and where are trades acceptable?
Like XP trades?
Yeah, for example, you've got Vikings mid and bot. We're all clumped top. When do we make a call to commit to potentially opening up a lane when you've got presence on the other 2 lanes? I guess what I'm trying to say is, how do we make the calls to make a trade for resources and kind of do the math to say, okay, we're going to come out on top based on this trade? Because I can't tell you how many games where I thought I was trading for our benefit and I actually crippled our team as a result.
So there's no like linear formula that I can say that will answer that in every situation. But here, you guys pushing and taking a keep wall, right? And trading out maybe mid wall and maybe even bottom fort for it means that if you win another protector, you get a keep off of it. So even though technically speaking, I think they would have gained a little bit more experience than you, they triple soaked plus got a wall and a fort, and all you got was a wall and a fort. So technically they gained more experience. It's still more experience isn't the only variable, right? Like there's also just the value of structures. You know, that's like saying, oh, they took 3 walls, but we got 2 forts and a keep wall. It's like the 2 forts and a keep wall is, oh wait, that's actually a worse example. Let's say that you had bottom fort down and you took a keep wall and a keep, and then they took 3 walls. Technically, like if they gained more experience than you, but you have catapults pushing down in that lane, and you have a hero that can go safely push that lane and then teleport in, right? Like stuff like that you have to consider. So it's basically like a game sense question, and I can't give you a blanket answer to that. It's just, in this case, you guys are opening up a win condition for yourselves. Because if you get the next protector, and chances are, or not even chances are, you will, you might be able to, that means you get a keep off of it, which is huge. So that's the only reason why I say making this trade, even though technically, like numbers-wise, it may not be your advantage, it's worth doing.
Got it.
Okay, and here's just another time where I think you can get the kill on this guy for free. So if it was just the DE and then QW combo, there's nothing you can do.
I favored the... Now, it's hard for me to translate the Q because I rebind everything to other keys, but the Flame Strike is an obsessive-compulsive tendency, so I'll get better at that.
No worries. Now we have to put you topside to clear these camps. Which is what you do. Oh, this guy's cheeky. But they're pretty crazy. They used all of their bribe stacks when it wasn't even like a good time to do it, so that's good for you guys. So I think ETC was just scared here. I don't think Sonya should have leapt in. I think you guys should have waited for Cassia to come down or just not leap in at all. But you still have Mosh Pit up. I think just the Phoenix was all that was really necessary there. But now, here comes Cassia. You guys can look for a Mosh. No slide yet, but actually you don't even have to. So you get the free kill. Now take the support camp. Immediately grab the support camp. Nice, you guys do it. Excellent. It's probably best on you, honestly, but you're a sensitive target. You don't want to die. Okay. So it's a little bit further away than you'd want, but not the end of the world. I like the fact that you guys are pushing up already. But you need somebody to back cap right away, i.e. you. Just walk back and start channeling it.
I think I was just talking to myself for a little while. I think I lost you for a bit.
Oh.
It's all good. Keep going.
Okay.
Silence is acceptance.
Okay, so you guys just basically won this. So the fact that nobody has started channeling this already is not good.
Yeah, so that's when I knew this was the replay. Is we've spent the whole time team fighting. You've got mid and top kind of soaking, and
wait a second. I'm gonna hover ETC. Oh, he does have it too, eh? So like right here, this is a 3-person mosh, 4-person mosh. ETC needs to slide and mosh that immediately. He has everything available.
So this is again just the awareness of the ults, the timing, the being aware of each other or watching each other, as you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is a 4-person mosh. I would say it's 5, but I don't think you guys would have hit ETC with that, because you, or I mean Illidan with that one. But yeah, that was a 4-person mosh and a team wipe right there. You still end up getting 2 kills, but there's 2 that were missed right there. Again, we have to back cap. Get the protector channeled. But it's also good that you guys are pushing this wave, because now it's going to give your protector even more value.
See, and I don't think we even thought of that. I think that we all kind of see red in our eyes, and we want the team fight. And I can't tell you how often that happens. I started at silver and have slowly worked my way up, but I just get blinders on when I see, you know, a potential team fight coming. I don't know if it's because that's mechanically the most fun, or because I just can't focus on the actual objective of the map. But either way, that seems to be the habits that I settle back into more often than not.
Okay. Yeah, it might be like a mentality thing where you're just like, having more fun instead of just like focusing exclusively on winning. But if that's true, like, you know how to fix it.
Well, yeah, and like I said, we're when you're sitting in a crowd full of people that are into the game and cheering for the teams and are genuinely into all aspects of it, you just want to get better eventually. So
yeah. Is ETC in here?
He might be in chat. I don't know specifically. I know Sonya's in chat.
Yeah. Okay. So like even here, this is a mosh pit and a team wipe. Like, he's landing such good slides and has such good like frontline positioning, but just doesn't rip the pit.
And I think that's because if you heard the audio to go along with it, there's a lot of back and forth about you know, questions to each other.
Okay.
What do we want to do next, or who's the target? And you've got, you know, separate calls happening. So as a group that's trying to find their
way.
Rhythm, let's call it. What do you need to establish to grow from, say, gold to the future leagues?
You guys specifically, it's going to be execution, because that is the single largest issue that I've seen with your guys' play, is the fact that, you know, ETC will slide on a target, but then there's no stun off of it, there's no spells off of it. Like, understanding how your team comp is supposed to be executed and then following that through. Like, I shouldn't have to say, like, I don't want to offend or anything like that, but you know that.
You're good.
Like, I'm not. Yeah.
You're
Okay.
good.
So like, it looks very hero leaguey or very like quick matchy. The way that you guys are playing, you're not playing as a team, and you have to start playing as a team, because yeah, you guys are missing so many huge opportunities in these team fights. Like, what MMR is this? What rank is this? Like gold, silver?
This is gold.
Okay, so like, you guys with this comp, like, you guys would easily hit platinum diamond, easily, as long as you just actually are hard on yourselves with your execution. And if you know how your comp is supposed to be executed, you guys can jump into a replay in yourself and be like, okay, this was the ETC slide. Kael'thas, where was the stun? Why wasn't it here? Oh, I wasn't close enough. Well, why weren't you? Oh, I was afraid of... No, you don't have to be, because I'm going to peel for you. Okay, cool. So I'll make sure I'm closer to you next time, ETC. Done.
Okay.
So like, wait, hold on, right here, ETC can auto attack Li Ming one time. Oh no, she E's, never mind. Okay, so now like, this is another execution thing. This is a dead Lily. You have almost a full health ETC, and he has a healing camp item. So if he gets really scared, he can just rip that right now and not die. But he can body block this Lily and she's dead. But watch. He also has slide up in 1 second. Bodied, 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 slide, dead. Stuff like that.
Got it.
And I was just pointing at ETC in that specific situation, but it's happening all over. Like, you guys are just doing it as a team. Just missing your mechanical execution.
That's easy enough to fix.
So now, like, you guys can actually just end the game, I think, by grabbing the protector and then pushing bottom.
Yeah, no, I think we end off of this.
This is a scary push top, holy crap. Like, ETC's landing so many combos. That was
No,
good. He actually.
he's mechanically really good with ETC. It's just that the rest of us aren't fully aware of not only his hero, but he as a player and what he had planned or what he was looking at.
Yeah.
And again, it's an execution thing, like you said. So, I mean, I've gotten the total value out of what we need to do differently. I mean, when I submitted this replay, it was definitely okay. We saw afterwards how favored we were to win. We had a great comp, but it was still really difficult to pull off. And you've just pointed out exactly what we need to focus.
Okay, can you do me a favor?
Sure.
I would like to do another one of these replays with you at some point in the near future. Your job is to develop a composition with your friend. Oh, are you there? Can you hear me?
Okay, there you are.
Yeah.
I don't know why I lost you for a second, but go ahead. I said somewhere in the near future, and that's all I heard.
Okay, so yeah, so let's do another replay somewhere in the future. But your job, right, like today, moving forward, is to find a comp, one comp, okay? And it has a specific win condition. Let's say it's the ETC, Kael'thas, okay? And I want you to play it through with that win condition in mind, where you're sliding, you're getting your stuns off, you're getting the blow up on a single target. It doesn't have to be ETC Kael'thas, you know, it can be something a little bit more flavorful. It can be a like Murd and Tyrande. It can be like an Ariel Vala with a Dahaka in the side lane, and you guys just force really hard and then have the Dahaka TP and you win a fight. It can be an Abathur comp, you know?
You'll have to catch me up because I don't hear anything.
Okay. Hello? Oh, I think audio's all borked.
Yeah, nothing.
Oh. Okay. So I'll just say it in here. Your guys' job is to develop a comp where it has a specific execution style, and I want you to play a game where you execute it properly throughout the entire game. Maybe you have one mishap, maybe you have two, that's fine. But I want you guys to actually play a game front to back. Like, pick an HGC draft. You guys can go through like any HGC phases and just find a draft that works for you. Maybe it's Genji Brightwing. Maybe it's a Genji Brightwing and the Karazim. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a Garrosh blow up comp. Anything like that. But I want you to play it front to back and be proud of the way that you execute it. And you don't have to win, but you do have to remain consistent with your comp the whole way through, okay? If you do that, if you guys can find comps where you can play them front to back properly, I swear you guys can just like skyrocket from a gold to a diamond team. Like, I promise you.
So will you just send us an invoice in the mail then after that happens, or?
Nice meme.
Yeah. No, all right. I missed probably like 75% of that because of my potato internet connection.
It's all good.
I'm going to watch the VOD. Seriously, though, thank you for taking the time and giving us some advice. We're going to have a lot of fun reviewing not only the VOD, but, what we're going to do next about everything. So thanks again.
No worries, man. Anytime. Thank you very much for taking the time and submitting the replay, and I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Okay, one more replay for the evening, you guys. Don't you go anywhere. Why am I so weird?